Yeah.
Bam, there. Now we got audio.
Okay.
Okay? Bam, there. Now we got audio. Let's do this.
All right. Let's do it on top of this.
Take 47.
Take 4. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Burnham and OG show. Happy Thursday. Burnham couldn't make it today. This is OG.
I said he looked a little light today.
It's like deja vu for some reason. But, man, I watching the news, man. It's the same thing. Nothing. Just the same thing, bro.
Okay, remember I was telling y'all my mom's a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm against it completely. I'm like, Mom, you on some bullshit. And I felt bad because yesterday was her birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell y'all how our conversation was over dinner. Because I took her to eat for dinner, you know. Okay. Took her out for dinner for her birthday and stuff. We just had a conversation. And, my immediate family, my wife and my 2 kids, we took her out, you know. And we don't support dude at all, but my mom's gung-ho about supporting Trump. And she was telling me that in 2018, he had did some stuff where supposedly, they wrote some stuff into legislation that got passed that had something to do with pandemics, martial law, and state of emergency.
Yeah.
Okay? And it all had to do with the election, meaning anytime during the election, if they deem it a state of emergency, a pandemic, or martial law, that the election is null and void. Okay? So this was written in 2018, and it passed.
Really?
Okay? So guess what that means?
He's still president.
He's going to stay president. Even though we have a new president elect, when he keeps saying that he's going to, beat her by any means or whatever, watch what they do. Because he's playing strategic chess. Okay? So, like I said, as much as we hate that man, he's playing chess, and he wrote this stuff into election. So we have to
trying every trick in the book,
yeah. So it's not all smoke and mirrors.
Man, he trying every trick in the book.
So yeah, we got to arguing about it yesterday at dinner, and I'm like, Ma, I said, you know what? We already got a new president. He's just supposed to take office, 20th or 21st of January. Yeah. And my mom like, wait and see.
Man, I wonder, man. I wonder what's in that legislation. I'm sure we could probably pull some of that up. But that's, yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
So I was shocked that she had told me that yesterday. But she was like, yeah, she goes, you just got to really be paying attention because these things were written in 2018. Yeah. It's pretty wild. Yeah, man.
Hey, but we got to watch out because he's tried every single trick in the book, and who's to say it's not going to happen?
Right, exactly. So, man, outside of that mess yesterday, we had a winner for this 11 Galileo laptop tablet.
Oh, yeah.
We need to find that law, that legislation, or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look for it right now.
We'll dig into it. Yeah. But the way that I was told that it was written,
it's a way you can look.
Let's look it up while we here. Let's try to find it because we can read that up. That's interesting, that's important, man. Like these, I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you gotta understand. 120 Republicans signed the paperwork that was the lawsuit from what 17 states.
Yeah,
and they really was trying to overthrow the election. And it's not going to stop at that. You think they just gave up right there?
No, my mom was telling me, too, that Texas is the one leading this new...
It got shut down in day one.
Yeah, but they reopened it, I guess, because
they're gonna keep
the Supreme Court shut it down because Wisconsin threw it out because they recounted, 3 or 4 times, and they said, yeah, it was for Biden, blah, 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 blah. The count came back the same every, time they counted it. Pennsylvania did the same thing. So they threw it out. But now Texas is the one on the forefront of the lawsuit because they want
They the one that started everything and got everybody together, man. And it's all Republicans. And it's like
said we
your vote don't count.
Again.
That's what it's like. It's like your vote don't even count.
It's martial law. Shouts out to OG, man. He's not with us this morning. He's taking care of some family stuff.
White people trying to taking the country back.
I mean, and it ain't just white people. You got Sheriff Clarks. You got, you know what I mean? You got to think about it. It ain't just the white people.
And I was like, wow. So
you got bigots of every color. You know what I mean?
My mom's, she made me think about that yesterday. Even though as much as I hated the dialogue we was having, she made me think about it. I'm like, you know what, man? This fool, believe it or not, in 2018 pre-planned it already. Because how would you write into legislation the word pandemic? And we haven't had a pandemic in how long? And it was pre-planned. Think about it. So all that stuff falls into play because he's like, man, I'm not leaving office. I don't care if they don't want to vote me back in. I'm not leaving. So and this rule has been in our legislation for years. This other legislation that during any war, anything of civil unrest or anything like that, they can't change out presidents. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
At the same time, they killed Kennedy. So, if they want you out of there, you out of there.
Oh, yeah, right. But see,
you pushing their agenda. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It's like, we don't know who to who. You know what I mean?
Right.
We somebody so far
background
we
bigger
so
than
far
somebody
on the bottom end. We don't know who the who's.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Trump just the poster boy.
We grew up in a culture of blaming all the wrong people.
Like I said, 120 Republicans signed that paperwork, so that's them going hard for Trump. You know what I mean? No matter what, them going. And you got to remember too, they got what they call Q9 people that's actually elected officials. These people is crazy.
Oh, my brother ran,
man. I don't want to ever talk. I'm sorry, with all respect to dude. I don't never want to hold a conversation with dude no more. He's so far to the man. I'm like, these Q9 people. I don't know if you've seen that stuff, man. The Q9, they believe in every single conspiracy, and they like this, every single one.
Trump legislation. I'm looking at it. Trump legislation. What would it be called? Presidential? I don't even know.
Pandemic legislation for re-election.
Trump legislation.
Let's look up all the legislation he signed.
That's gonna be a lie.
That year, he got a year. It was passed.
2018.
So look for everything he signed in 2018.
Yeah, that's a good list to go through. Anyways, while we talking about the president trying to stay in power, we could probably read that list and be like, okay. Now, every single president has done something that you like, okay, that was great. But how much negative do they do? Anybody can go back and point out, well, he did this and it was good.
Hey, man, most of us can't, man. We just go with what's popular in the news and the rumors. You don't really most people don't really start following that shit till they get older, man. When we ripping and running the streets, we didn't give a flying fuck who no president was, none of that. All we needed to know is who the police was.
Yeah, they caring now. They caring now. This is the biggest voter turnout ever.
Man, it ain't even... It's a lot of people that do care, but I ain't gonna say enough to make it the greater number. Because a lot of people just going with what's cool right now, man. A lot of people, man, we was out there. How you caring about a movement with some of the activities we was witnessing, man?
What you mean?
When we was out there with the marches and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you got your serious people, but the rest is just numbers, fillers. And they coming to, man, do what they want to do, act a fool.
But they voted this year. And they did. You ain't even have to go nowhere to vote this year. You know what I mean? But
found
this is still, you found it?
Yeah. This shit's long.
Yeah, this
all
was the
I'm
biggest.
saying is that the majority of the people, man, don't care, man.
The ones that didn't care voted this year because they was like, dog got us fucked up. You know what I mean? They actually voted this year. The ones that didn't care,
they ain't do shit.
The numbers show.
That little fake ass vote shit, man, that ain't do shit. We don't never vote when the fuck it really count, man. It don't matter
like
who
Q9
get put.
right now.
It don't matter who the fuck in there, man.
He sound like Q9 right now.
It don't matter who the fuck in there, man. If you ain't got the right people in your state, each state govern its motherfucking self. They lean on they self.
Big deal.
As much as they can.
I can show you the difference.
So check it out.
So tell me this. Here go a perfect example. What difference do it make who the president is when we got the district attorney we got?
That's another thing we need to take care of. You know what I mean?
That's my point.
There's things your point ain't making sense because there's things a district attorney do.
My point ain't making sense.
Yeah, because there's things a district attorney do, and it's things a president do.
Man,
you can't blame the president for stuff that's going on in this court because he's not going to come here.
President. I'm saying that shit don't matter who.
Well, that's why people need to vote for district attorney. How many spots were just walked into this year? Just walked into.
All the ones that matter.
Exactly.
This
so
legislation.
Wasn't even nobody challenging them.
Check it out. So this legislation is long as hell, and I'm not about to read all of it.
Yeah, summary.
But this is what it's called. It's called Executive Order Imposing Certain Sanctions in the Event of Foreign Interference in a United States Election. And it goes on to state, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. And then it has all the stuff in that first act, which was everything we talked about before. Like if there was a civil war, or unjust, you know what I mean, unrest, all of that, a president can say, hey, you know what, during this time, we're not switching out. You know what I mean? So that's the only time that's been written for so long that a president can stay in office if something crazy was happening during, like a war or whatever. So then it goes on, and then there's so much other shit in here. Part outside United States interfere with okay, so they're also saying with like if there's any type of foreign power that's meddling in, if they feel that it is one ballot that has any outside foreign interference, they can they can void the election. Yeah, it's crazy. And then it says because it's a threat to our national security, blah, 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 blah. Like, you guys got to read this. I'm going to post this link on our website. Yeah, okay? Wild. And I mean at the Facebook page. This link there's a lot of reading to do. But if y'all want to read this, y'all got to go and check it out. This executive order stuff that he did, it's in there. That was
an executive order too? That wasn't voted in the legislature?
This was an executive order on imposing certain sanctions. Okay?
Let me just put that in there.
And this was September 12th, 2018 is when they wrote that in. Okay? So I'm going to post this on our Facebook page.
I see it now. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice, but
it's wild, man, because see, we pay attention to all the stuff we want to pay attention to, and then we look at CNN and we look at Fox and we look at CNBC and we watch those and we kind of take them with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, some of that's true, some of it's not. Right. Some of it's a false narrative where they're pushing their own agendas. But then you look at it, it's like, man,
especially on certain news,
right? But you'd be like, man, this dude literally put this into play. It's already there. Yeah. So that's why he acts the way he acts, because it's already in the law. It's there.
Yeah.
So when we go, oh man, he's getting ready to go, he's like, no, I'm not. You dumbasses don't read. You know what I'm saying? Like, this in the law book.
Yeah.
It's in the rules. So at this point, we playing strategic chess. On that side of the fence, we over here playing checkers.
Ooh, I could just imagine. What you think it happen? You think the military get involved?
Yeah, of course.
You know what, man?
What?
I always, when people be bringing that, use that analogy or whatever you call it, checkers, not chess, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I get it. But at the same time, both the motherfuckers is games.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We playing too many games.
That's true.
Get serious about something.
It's very true.